Bathrooms are the hardest and most technical rooms to design. You know, you've got a small space, an awkward layout, the suppliers and installation are really costly, and everything needs to be decent quality and installed to a really high standard. Otherwise, you could be left drinking bathwater whilst you're eating your dinner.
Yummy!
So the last thing you want to happen is accidentally allocating your budget to the wrong things or poor quality supplies that will cost you thousands in repair fees later. So today I'm going to show you the 3 areas I always invest in when designing a bathroom and where you can confidently save without regretting it a year from now. And I want to explain why cheap baths and shower trays are one of the biggest false economies we're up against. Hi guys, I'm Fi, I'm an interior designer, and if you're new here, I share how to renovate your home confidently and affordably. We talk about avoiding costly mistakes, managing budgets sensibly, and getting the details just right so your home actually works for you long term. So if you're renovating, subscribe for more. So when I'm designing for clients, I'm always thinking, how can I get a luxury feel on a sensible budget? How are we going to achieve it? But bathrooms demand a lot more caution than kitchens. They're prone to water damage, mould build-up, and slow failures that you don't see until it's too late. You know, you think you've secured a bargain, and then a year later, you're patching grout, resealing edges, repainting all the ceilings below. I seriously think there's such a thing as post-bathroom stress disorder. The hardest thing about bathrooms is getting the balance right, especially when budgets are really tight. And this is where judgment really matters. If a client's budget is modest, sometimes we don't rip everything out. We elevate what's already there, so new tiles, fresh paint, and small upgrades that'll buy us time until they're ready to do it properly later. Other times we plan it all properly on paper, choose the quality finishes, and they save until they can do it once and well. I just wanted to mention that because bathrooms are always better done once and well. Trying to replace everything on a shoestring budget with cheap products is where I see regret really creep in. Right, so let's get specific on where you should spend and save. If you've got a sensible mid-range budget and you're not going ultra high-end, here's how I would spread it in your shoes. Number 1 is spend on plumbing and layouts when it actually improves your life. Here's the thing to keep in mind. If you're moving plumbing for a better layout, it's worth it. But if you're moving plumbing just because you fancy a different look, it's probably not going to be worth it. But context really matters. If your shower's awkward, your toilet blocks the circulation, or you've not got any storage opportunities, you're banging your elbows on the walls, those are the areas that are worth investing in. I'm working on a project right now where the toilet and the bathroom are split into 2 narrow dark rooms upstairs. You can barely move in there. So we're knocking down the dividing wall to create one large family bathroom, and that is worth the spend. But what we're doing is we're keeping the toilet and the vanity and the bath plumbing all exactly where it is, just to save us a couple of hundred, sometimes thousands in contractors' fees. So yeah, your layout isn't about following rules, it's about having to understand what the trade-offs mean for you and make your decisions based on those. Improve the flow and function, don't move pipes just for aesthetics alone. Number 2 is spend on quality baths and shower trays. We learned this the hard way. Years ago, before I became an interior designer, we fitted a thin acrylic bath and it flexed every time we stepped into that shower. That movement then caused cracked silicone around the bath. That cracked silicone then led to leaks, and those leaks led to a nasty staining all on our ceiling below. It was so frustrating. I honestly think we spent more money fixing it than the bath actually cost itself. So now I will only ever specify reinforced baths and solid trays that don't flex under weight. Look for 12mm reinforced acrylic like Carronite or K-stone trays. They'll give you proper support with proper installation, of course. And obviously if you're doing a wet room, this won't apply in the same way. But for standard bath and tray installations, strength really matters. Buy cheap, buy twice, absolutely. If you're planning a full house renovation, start with my free Survivor's Guide to Renovating below. It contains the exact framework that I give my students before they make any big decisions. I've left the links in the description box for you. Number 3, spend on your vanity units. Luxury bathrooms do one thing brilliantly, and that's that they hide clutter seamlessly. Nothing dates a bathroom faster than bottles mounting up on the sides, with the surfaces underneath warping, and just having storage as an absolute afterthought in your planning.
That's just sick coming up.
Your vanity needs to work hard for you every single day, and it holds a lot of visual weight when you enter the room. The design can really define the whole feel of the room. So if you have space for a vanity unit, make it count and get the exact sizing if you can. Get the correct projection and get one that's offering good storage in a thoughtful finish that really brings a vibe to your bathroom. I often find myself designing bespoke vanities for clients because they fit so beautifully in the space and they're not prohibitively expensive. Or we use suppliers that offer really varied widths, making sure it fits the room properly. And I just think it's one of the best ways to introduce personality into a room full of really hard surfaces. Now, if your bathroom genuinely can't fit one, that's fine. Don't try and squeeze one in. A pedestal sink or a wall-hung sink will be the right call for you. There's more than one way to do this. But yeah, if you can fit a proper vanity, it's well worth investing really well in. If this video is helping you think differently about your bathroom budget, give it a like and subscribe. It genuinely helps our channel and it lets me know that this video is useful for you so that I can create more. So comment below if you're liking it. Right, so that's where I'd spend. What about where to save? And here's the part that surprises most people. You can save on almost everything else in your bathroom. Tiles, toilets, basins, even taps, valves and lighting. They still need to be good quality, but they don't need to be designer price tags here. I've vetted so many suppliers over the years and you can get excellent durable products without overspending. But the key is this: spend where failure is less expensive and save where replacement is more manageable. That's the mindset that's good to take on in your whole home, because replacing a cracked tray can mean ripping up floors, but replacing a wall light is far less disruptive. So think long term. If you want to avoid the common bathroom mistakes that cost people thousands, then watch this video next. It's my 10 worst bathroom design mistakes. I share some painful lessons in that one. And genuinely, take your time with your planning. Don't rush and give yourself time to research and make decisions properly. Calm and clued up renovators always get better results. I hope that helped you and I'll see you in the next video. Bye guys.